Hi crafty friends, this is card number 6 in Full Deck Challenge 3. The prompt for this week was light blue and be free. I have gathered all my light blue items and my carryover item from last week is this date stamp. I'm going to be using it again, but this time with blue ink. And then my constant, which I have chosen for mine to be the postage stamp. I have these two, not sure yet which one I'm going to use. The one is a bit broken, but it'll still work. While I was searching for my light blue items, I did come across these flowers that I have that could make a good focal point. And then also I really want to try and use this washi tape, which is my favorite, with these blue flowers and some gold accents. Now, the idea behind the Be Free prompt is for us not to think about where we're going to be placing our bits on our card. There were 2 viewer comments on last week's video when I mentioned the Be Free prompt that I think really fits what I was trying to say. The one viewer mentioned the words reckless abandon. I'm using Mod Podge to stick my things down, by the way. And the other viewer used the expression auditioning the pieces. We're not going to be auditioning any of our pieces for our card. We're just going to stick and go. They're not going to have a chance to show us that they need to be in that place. We're just going to place it wherever we want, without any thought. I loved those expressions, so thank you. Just by the way, this is a challenge for me too, because normally I like to place items and make sure that they're balanced, that there's contrast. So this just stick and go is a little out of my comfort zone too. I've just left my pile of light blue on the left and I'm going to apply Mod Podge. I'm going to tear a piece from one of the pieces, whatever's on top. I'm not going to scrummage through it. Well, I want to try not to scrummage through it. I'm just going to tear pieces and stick them down. Trying to remember to leave one of the corners open so we can see that this is a plain card. Again, not a rule. You can do it if you want. You can cover up the whole card, whatever you prefer. It's never too late to join in the Full Deck Challenge. This is deck number 3. We have deck 1 and 2 already done in previous years. I will link the playlist in the description box below. You can also join my group on Facebook. Just search Full Deck Challenge group. And there you can share your makes if you like and you can be inspired by others. It's a great little community. While I was creating this, I did realize that perhaps having all the items on the left in large format and tearing it as I go maybe wasn't 100% ideal. I didn't have an idea really of how I was going to do this, so I just sort of started, and I believe you just sort of learn as you go. So continuing on from this card, for next week's card we're still going to keep the Be Free prompt, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my little pieces all pre-cut or pre-torn, ready to go. I want to see if that will make a difference in the way the overall look finishes up. So the 2 prompts for next week are dark blue, be free, with ready-made pieces. So I continue to stick my pieces down. I know that this looks very different to how it would if I had planned or auditioned the pieces, but that was the idea of this exercise. We're exercising our ability to let go. To let go of fear of not having something perfect, of sticking something in the wrong place, and for making a mistake. Paper craft is meant to bring us joy, not stress. Everything has been dried well. I'm now going to trim off the excess. I now need to see where my constant, the postage stamps, are going to go. And I have decided to use these flowers as my focal point. These are from Martha from Maremi's Small Art. I received them quite a few years ago. I bought some stencils from her and they came in as part of the packaging and the thank you. I've fussy cut a medium-sized flower and I'm trying to place it without too much thought as the focal point on my piece. Before I do think about placement too much, I'm just going to stick down the postage stamp. And then I'm going to apply the flower. I'm now going to do my carryover item, which, like I said earlier, is going to be the date stamp. I'm using a blue ink. I'm just going to do a few practice stamps first. Not quite sure where I want to put it, but I thought I'm just going to put it at the bottom, and I quickly stamped before I changed my mind. Now this card could be finished, but I do feel it needs something more. It feels very flat to me. I'm just curling up the edges of the petals to make it a little bit more 3D. See if that'll help at all. It just has no contrast. It's pretty flat. But we will work with what we have. I'm using a black watercolor pencil. I'm dipping the point in some water, and then I'm going just around the edges of the card. While that was drying, I decided we needed to make that flower, the focal point, pop a little bit. So I'm going to use my black fine liner pen, and I'm going to go all the way around the petals just to make them a little bit more distinct and give them more detail and definition. I'm liking that now. That is much better. Do you see how it has now created contrast and how it makes it flower pop? And the overall look is not flat. I'm going to fussy cut out 2 smaller flowers. I want to add them in the top right to create balance. And I'm thinking of putting one flower on the top of the card and one just behind, so it looks a little bit more 3D, like it'll have additional petals coming from the back of the card. And as I stick this down, do remember that it is okay if things don't work out. You can make changes as you go in your project. And if worse comes to worse, you can always just start again. I'm going to do the petal detail on this one too. And then I also did it on the back petals of the flower, and then I didn't love it so much anymore. It felt a little top right heavy, but that's okay. I'm going to pull that back part off, and I'm going to re-fussy cut another one and see if it'll look better if I leave it plain. After placing it at the back, I think that's going to be too much. I'm going to leave it just like this. I really want to use some of this washi tape. I love it. It's my favorite. The flowers are so beautiful with the gold accents. So I'm going to fussy cut out one of the light blue flowers and place it somewhere on the card. Where, oh where shall this flower go? I think it'll go nicely just under my big flower. The center of the flower is gold foil, so I'm going to cut another small piece of gold, just like a gold splatter from the washi tape, and apply it at the very top of the card to create a little bit of balance with that gold. It's a very small addition, but I think it makes a very big difference. Here is a close-up of my card so you can see all the beautiful details. I really hope you enjoyed this card in Full Deck Challenge 3 and were inspired to create your own. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the little bell so you're notified every time I upload new content. Thanks again for watching. Happy creating, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.